Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is my third and final dedicated video to the EcoFlow RIVER portable power station. By now I've had it for 2 months. I've used it at home, I've used it for camping, and I've even used it on an extended photography road trip. So I have much better perspective now on who this device is for, whether or not you need it, and how it compares to the other options on the market. So I'll try to answer all those questions as quickly, concisely, but completely as possible in this video. And just so you know, this is sponsored. EcoFlow did send me this, but this is going to be my honest, unvarnished opinion based on my experience and my research as well. So stay with me, let's get started. So over the course of the past 2 months, what have I actually used this device for? So the main things I've done with it is overnight camping with my car, as you'll see in this previous video. And in that camping, I used it mainly to heat water quickly and to power an electric fan and also to charge my devices, especially my drone, because I only have 2 batteries for it. So that's been my main use for camping. I didn't need it to power lights because I'm using solar lights. So that was the main thing. So that may sound small, but being able to heat your water quickly without gas and being able to run an electric fan are low-key game changers for camping. And then I used it for emergency power at home when during the summer, we had rotating blackouts. So I was able to use it to power an electric fan. And it was always nice to have it on standby to be able to power the fridge, although I didn't use it for that. Next, I actually use it a lot for charging devices at home because this thing actually just sits under my computer desk and I have a lot of devices plugged in. And so it's actually really handy to use it to be able to just plug in and have very fast charging and actually see how much power it's putting out so that I know whether or not my devices are actually charging quickly. And finally, I just came back from a week-long road trip up north, and I was able to use it to charge my drone batteries in the car, although for nothing else, because as I said, I only have 2 drone batteries. So it was just sitting in the car most of the time, and it was nice to use it so that I would be able to charge my devices in transit or while waiting, so that I wouldn't need to charge my batteries overnight because I don't like doing that. That's not good for the batteries. So overall, I haven't been using it all the time. I would say I would classify it as just a really nice to have device. Nice to have in case of emergency, especially whether the power goes out or I really need to charge something on the go. And I would say where it's been more than a nice to have is in camping, because then it affords you a lot more options to be able to power devices, especially with its high wattage output. So now we've quickly gone over my actual experience with it, I want to answer the question of whether or not you should get this. Number 1, whether or not you actually need a portable power station, and number 2, whether or not you should choose the EcoFlow RIVER over the other options on the market. Alright, so let's go over this. What are the main reasons to get one of these? Number 1 is you need it. It's really a handy portable power solution. It's a great, easy to use, compact, and quiet alternative or supplement to fuel-based generators. And if you always have rotating blackouts, if your power in your area isn't reliable, I would say it's a very nice thing to have in general, with the option to go solar, although I wasn't able to test that without the solar panels. Just know that based on my research, the solar charging works very well. So should you choose this or the other alternatives on the market? I would say, based on my research and experience, EcoFlow RIVER in its class is really the superior product. It gives you the most features for your money. And if you're based in the Philippines, like most of my viewers are, it is basically the only premium option, because the other premium brands like Jackery and Go Zero do not provide 220-volt AC outlets. So if you want a branded option, if you want a high-end option, it's pretty much the only choice for you. But let's say even if Jackery and Go Zero were available in the local market, I still wouldn't recommend them, because basically EcoFlow has them beat in pretty much every aspect in terms of the features. And again, this isn't biased. I've done my research and I tested it myself and had feedback from friends who are also really into especially solar power generators. Now, in terms of price, it's hard to talk about that because, again, there's an international audience and prices for EcoFlow and its competition can vary widely across different regions. Here in the Philippines, this is 20,000 pesos. And like I said, it's the only option. The Jackery, you can get on Lazada for 25,000 pesos. And again, it's the inferior choice because it's only 110 volts and it doesn't have all the features this has. So where this really has the competition beat is in charging speed. With the competition, you need additional accessories and connections to be able to charge more quickly, say 2 hours instead of 4 or even 8 hours, whereas this out of the box using AC charges to 80% in 1 hour and 100% in 1.5 hours. The competition, on the other hand, needs 2 hours to 4.5 to even 8 hours to charge for the same amount of capacity. So this is really a game changer for emergency preparedness because, again, you only need 1.5 hours to charge the full 288 watt hours of this device. So I would say that is really the main reason where there's no competition basically for EcoFlow RIVER. Another aspect where this has the competition beat is the number of inputs. So you have the 3 USB-A with the fast charger. You even have USB-C 100 watts. You can charge your MacBook Pros straight here. You have your DC here with the cigarette lighter and the 2 inputs and the 2 220 volt AC outlets. So having done my research, there are a couple of the cheaper unbranded options that have more or less a similar amount of inputs, but then they don't have all of the other features, the premium build, and the app support that EcoFlow RIVER has. Another aspect where the device has the competition soundly beat is in its wattage output. So each of these 220 volt AC outlets can put out 600 watts each with, on paper, up to 1800 watts on the burst mode, the X boost mode, although realistically this is going to be more like 1200 watts. And for perspective, this is about double pretty much all of the competition's output. So again, aside from the fast charging, this is another game changer because you have so many more options for what devices you can power with this. And so another aspect where EcoFlow RIVER has the competition beat is that it is app enabled. As I've said before, it has a very nice app. In fact, the app just got a major update recently at time of posting this video. So this, I think, increases its long-term viability and potential reliability because then EcoFlow can keep pumping out firmware updates to address any issues and add nice features as time goes by and as they update their devices. So again, that's the thing. If you choose one of the cheaper unbranded ones, you don't get that kind of, I guess, after-sales support, that kind of assurance that over time, EcoFlow will keep supporting its devices with firmware updates and, I guess, easier access to support. So having said all that, what would be the reasons not to buy this device? Well, I would say mainly is that it's expensive. So if the use cases I outlined and other potential use cases don't apply to you, I think 20,000 pesos is a lot of money and it just might be overkill for something that you'll only use, I don't know, once a month, twice a month. I think it's really, you get the most value for your money with this if you go camping and overlanding a lot, or you have issues with the power supply where you are, if you really need it for emergency preparedness and blackouts. Then I think it's a worthwhile investment. Outside of that, either I guess you don't need a portable power station at all, or you can really look into the cheaper ones if you're not going to use it that much. It's a lot of money for this device, so just be aware that if you have any issues with it, I'm not sure what kind of after-sales support you can expect for any portable power station. So now that we've gone over reasons to buy and simple reasons not to buy, I want to go over my wish list for features. Number one really is that I wish it had some sort of weatherproofing because, again, if you're going to go out camping and the minute there's a little bit of rain and then you're afraid that the thing is going to get wet. So I wish it had either some sort of built-in rain protection or that EcoFlow would provide a dedicated weatherproof carrying case. I would get one immediately because, again, this something is like if you throw it in the trunk of your car or in the back of your SUV, it's kind of just there and it can slide around and bang around the sides of the car. This is an issue I kind of encountered on my long road trip with it. So I really wish it had a dedicated carrying case that can also protect it from the rain while still providing it enough room for ventilation for the fans. So EcoFlow, if you're listening, there really aren't any third-party options. So if you could just make a dedicated carrying case for this, that would be perfect. Second thing on my wish list is specific only to the Philippine market. Because in the Philippines, you can only buy either this one, EcoFlow RIVER stock, or EcoFlow RIVER Max with the extra battery already attached. Now, in my experience, the extra capacity of an extra battery would be a really big help, especially since I don't have the solar panels. And since I use it on road trips, that extra battery would just, I guess, double its usefulness for me. And so in the Philippines, you can't buy the extra battery separately. So you can buy this first and maybe you think this is all you need, and then if you change your mind later and you want to get the extra capacity, right now you don't have the option to just buy the battery separately. So I just wish in the Philippine market that they would provide the extra battery separately and not just bundle it with the RIVER Max. And that's about it. I hope that answered everything you need to know about whether or not you should get one of these. You can watch my 2 previous videos if you have any more questions, or feel free to leave me questions on the comments. Video 1 is the general introduction and tests of the device. Video 2 is a silent camping video where I just show you instead of telling you what it can do. So again, thank you for watching. Hope this was helpful. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.